Hello and welcome to a Lele bootleg. We haven't seen them in a while on this channel. This is set number 31035. These did come with boxes, but I didn't have the boxes shipped to me. And each box has two characters inside. No minifigure stand or anything. Every figure has a spare minifigure hand, and you see all of them come with accessories. So that means, aside from the minifigure stand, you are essentially buying two figures for the price of one, almost. So this is a double-sized pack. There's 12 boxes in this set, meaning that there's 24 characters in one set. Again, for half the price of what you would normally get. So apart from all the ninjas, all different color ninjas here, they are all the colors of the Hands of Time variant, whatever that means. Masteru on the front there is the 2017 variant, I think. And we have Samurai X, which is a second person to hold the Samurai X name, whatever it is. I don't watch the shows, I don't know, I'm just according to Wiki. And we also have a bunch of snake and undead monsters here. With the snake monsters, we have Pythor there, both the purple and white version. We have Scales, Scalador, and we have the green one, Assidious. We have a bunch of figures as well. We've got, I think, a Sifra, Rata, Biter, Chokin, Snake. Actually have Fang-Dam. Snapper, Golta, Soul Archer, and two different wraiths. Looks like it's Whale, whoever that is. But yes, just one of the regular leg ghoul people. So the accessories on all of these, so all of the ninjas themselves, they have the double sword pack, the older style ones, backpack with the sword going in both sides. And let's see, we've got the staff for Wu, we got the samurais for job on these figures are pretty decent. I think Cole's head there is a little bit lower than what it should be, but aside from that, her print is a little bit squished, maybe, and slightly off-center there, but the overall print quality is pretty decent. If you remember what Lele used to look like, these are a huge step up. The sharpness of the design and the clearness and the way the colors on there, there's nothing is like all smudged. The quality is pretty much close to something like Deku or Xingyuan, so pretty good paint job right there. The clutch on all of these figures are also pretty decent. I've noticed a few of them, the arms don't really plug in here. There's a little bit of a gap between her arm and the torso because they quite squeeze in, but it's not popping off or anything. It's just, you know, you look at it and you notice it, but it's not terrible. The head masks, they're all actually dual molded as well. Lele would have just used to painted on top of the plastic, but they haven't done that here. However, you can notice just on the top of all of these head masks where the two bits of plastic join, this lighter plastic that you see on the front has a little bit of plastic runoff that comes up the side, and also a little bit what looks like to be glue marks. So not the best, but it gets the job done. Has come off pretty easily, so that's good. It's not too tight. Great. The head prints, however, again, the coloring of the plastic is a little bit off, just like XINH sets. The coloring is a little bit too orangey. It looks more like orange juice. It's not transparent, but it's got that feel that it could be transparent. Just not quite right. The shape is also a little bit more square than regular Lego, I think. The print details and quality on them are okay, except for Cole right there. His green patch is just a smudge and doesn't have any pattern. The details are gone. And as for the red ninja there, his scar is for some reason made with metallic coloring. Most of them have a secondary face print. That's pretty cool. But the face print doesn't seem to match the originals too much. There seems to be a bit too much gold. Cole's little green like thing on top of his eyebrow, it has more detail on this side, meaning that they didn't just forget the detail, but the front was just painted poorly and just smudged all over the place. The back torso prints are all okay, except for the red ninja there where it's way off center, so it's kind of ruined the figure. But fortunately it's on the back, so you're not going to notice it too much. If it didn't get out of line, the quality itself of the prints are not bad. Backpack accessories, all of them are like this. They stay in there very well, and a little bit tight the first time sticking the swords in, but that's okay. It's better than having them constantly falling out, because that would get quite annoying. All of them stay in there pretty well. And these sword pieces, they're not the softest material. I think they are a little bit softer than regular Lego. Who of course has his trusty staff, feels like regular Lego, like, you know, tightness and hardness. and 2 silver katanas for Samurai X, and these are the same as the ones that the ninjas have. And yeah, both of them look decent enough with all of their gear on. This stuff doesn't fall off easily, which is a plus for bootlegs. The shapes of the print underneath is okay, but the colors seem a little bit off, especially on the head on Sensei Ru. Just too dark. His little lines are too dark, but Samurai X looks pretty perfectly printed, so that's pretty good. As for the back, Samurai X also has a secondary face. That's printed fine, not really any smudges. The back of Sensei Ru's body is also printed okay. Again, the color seems a little bit off. Onto these undead people. We got these really soft tooth materials on this guy. Just get rid of those. And for whatever reason, he has no clutch whatsoever. So he's got this bow and arrow, just standard accessory piece. And both of these guys have these giant sort of ghost flamey swords. Dark green and transparent, looks pretty good. This one has an extra tooth on the end, that's a hard material. You just remove those, there we go. The gear here are painted if there's a secondary color, they're not jewel molded or anything, and they look pretty decent and they're molded pretty well. The scarf here is also done pretty nicely, and like the overall colors that they've used on these figures. Here's a quick look of his head scarf on the back. They have added the green painted detail, and for the most part it's painted okay. And yeah, you see that roleplay? He doesn't want to stick on any surfaces whatsoever. He has zero clutch, literally. Wind could blow him off something, so that's beneficial of quality control right there. The pattern on all of these ghoul leg pieces are all completely random, so you're gonna get something completely different from what I have here. All of them are just a dual mixture of transparent green and solid blue plastic. The head pieces and the leg on this guy there are also transparent green, but it doesn't seem as vibrant as the official Lego stuff. It feels more puke green than light green. It's just a little bit off. The print details on all of them torsos look pretty good, and the head details on them are pretty decent as well, except for him. His look a little bit weird, like they were starting to run out of ink or something, so that's not fun. And here's a quick look at the back. Back torso is printed pretty nicely, back body also pretty nicely. You can see if he was, yep, he would just balance on there for now. Oh, that's shaking. And you see he has a secondary head print as well, just more of the mummified details, and that looks pretty good as well. The snake character has got a giant spear here for him, got a spear with 2 axe pieces attached for him, a buildable hammer spike piece. The spike is made of very soft material, but the rest of it is hard plastic, and it's built quite well. A regular sort of monster sword for the white Pythor, and this should be a gold material, but they just gone with a greyish brown, so that's not good. A tiny dagger for him, plus this piece here, which is lightsaber hilt, and it's got like a little weird symbol on the back. So that's for him as well, so that's pretty good. For these figures, their tail pieces are permanently attached to the rest of the leg. That means it's one whole piece all in one go. Some of the bootlegs, like SINH, they will have the tail piece as a separate soft piece that is detachable from the rest of the leg. What this means is that the leg piece is also made out of a soft material, meaning that the paint can be easily scratched off, as seen here. I did not scratch that, it came like that in the package, and I did try with my fingernail just to scratch a little bit of the corner off, and it was coming off. Paint won't stay well on rubbery plastic. I suppose you could spray it and try and protect it, but in the long run it will come off. The head pieces are fortunately made out of hard plastic, so they won't have that problem. Where the paint has not been scratched off, the detail is printed on very well. All of these have very sharp and nicely detailed torsos, and they're copied very well to the original Lego. All the heads here with a different angle, so you can see it to view, because all of them have a lot of the details printed on the top there. Got some silver on the little spikes, and the overall printing on these 3D pieces are done very nicely. As you see, the backs here are also done pretty well, so that's pretty nice. So just gonna plug the heads back on one by one, so you can also see the molding on these heads. So you got the 2 here, which have very similar mold. Got the black head here with a huge spiky thing for the back, which will cover up a lot of the print design. Got the white snake head there, very sharp eyes, and of course you got the armor piece for the purple Pythor there with a very nice rib back like look, and then the head goes on top of that. This is more humanoid snake characters. We have these morning stars, a grey, silver one, and gold one here. We have another one of those tooth items. There's nothing printed on the flat transparent orange piece at the bottom because the tooth are made of soft material. You got a sort of a generic sort of snaky Ninjago type sword there. And we have this material here, which is soft-ish, but it's not still made of hard plastic, so it will snap if you bend it too much. And it seems to be genuinely dual molded with the white plastic going through there. And of course, that would be random depending on your luck or whatever, and see if it looks good or not. And we have a printed piece there, a transparent piece. That's pretty nice. Snake snap. And here we have another hilt piece with this sort of weird spinny blade thing attached to it. It feels like the snake characters here are not printed as nicely as the other figures. I suppose these are the ones that, you know, these supposedly free one. So the black figure on the right, the torso is printed pretty bad. It's very blurry. And then the two orange ones are printed okay. So the heads and, you know, molded head pieces. The white one as well. The red one in the middle, his head is printed okay. But the torso, the white there, just seems very tacky. It's close enough to the original design, but something just feels off about it. I think the black is slightly misaligned compared to the white print, which causes the issue. Grey snake is okay on the face and torso as well. And finally, the blue one here is completely messed up. The gold paint did not dry properly at all, and what we're left with is just smudges of gold and smudges here and there all over the place and crack lines. It looks pretty bad. You see at the top of the molded pieces are all printed pretty decently. The back, the black figure is okay. The second orange one right here, I just noticed that the grey print on the torso is actually white paint with little black dots to simulate a darker color. That's a very cheap and old style printing, and the type of printing I thought I wouldn't see on bootleg figures anymore, and yet here we are with one of these figures. That's pretty bad. The next orangey one is printed okay. Well, you know, just gonna attach that. The white one is off center, the black is slightly to the left, so that's no fun. But the head gear of course is okay. Very tacky white paint on this red body on the snake. It's not very good. At least most of that is covered up by the pretty decent head print. And the grey one is pretty decently printed actually, so he's good. The blue one is also okay on the back, but of course the front is completely messed up, so that's no good. Finally, this going back to the black one on the right, the orange paint on here is very tacky on this. The plastic of all of these figures definitely feel okay. They don't feel as good as some of the other bootlegs, but I don't feel like they're gonna break or anything. Really, the worst part of all the plastic here is the soft rubbery bit that they've used for the snake legs, because the print will come off. But most of them are okay. The clutch on all of these are also pretty decent as well, so except for that one of these spirit people, his clutch to Lego pieces is ghastly. But apart from him, all of them fit well on Lego pieces. None of the arms are too loose and nothing falls off, and that's pretty good. So it's pretty consistent, except for that one. And the paint job on all of these are pretty decent, except for those snake ones. I feel like those snake figures came from an earlier one that they just couldn't get rid of, so they packaged with the new ninja figures just to get rid of them. And say like, here's a free one, hey, take it off our hands. So that's what it feels like. It feels like an older generation of Lele figures, including the way they've been printed and the quality that they've been put together. Just seems a little bit off compared to the newer designs. But aside from that, these are still really cheap. If you can look past that and just think, hey, those snake figures are the bonus free gift, you are getting figures for half the price. And if you just want to quickly get a bunch of Ninjago figures without thinking about where to find them or what big sets to get them in, then this is still a pretty decent set to get. If you're used to Shinyon, Deku, XINH, or maybe Pogo, you might be a little bit disappointed here, but due to the quality control, you might also get a set that's pretty decent. So finally, for the price that these are going for, it's decent enough, but compared to other bootleg brands, you might not enjoy these that much. Subscribe, suggest and comment below, and of course, take care and have a nice day. I will see you guys soon. Bye bye now.